Welcome back to the Eternal Ruins. In this entry, I will speak of the fauna of the ruins. I will do my best to describe the many types of animals that can be found, and describe some that I have observed more closely. The ruins seem still and quiet as you move through them, but if you take the time to be still and watch, you will see that there are many other living creatures in this place. Different areas are home to different types of animals. Strange things prowl in the darker corners, and the flooded ruins are home to all manner of creatures. In this entry though, I will only cover the few that I have witnessed on my wanderings. The smaller beings are the easiest to find. One simply needs to look under loose stones and cracks in the walls and floor. These ones like to feed on the various lichen, moss, and fungi that grow in the ruins. Insects, bugs, and larvae live in the damp, tight spaces that are hard to reach. Snails and slugs can be found, especially if you're willing to climb. Near the water, it is not uncommon to see crabs, turtles, and of course, fish. One bug that I have found particularly interesting is the glow grub. I have usually found them by prying up floor tiles. They are always in large groups, chewing away at the stone. You can tell where they've been from the fine patterns they leave in the stone. They glow slightly while they eat. I have pondered this for a long time, and I believe that a single glow grub is not strong enough to break apart the stone. When one starts to eat and lights up, the others follow, and together they break apart the stone and get more food. They gave me a stomach ache when I ate some, but I have found them particularly useful to keep in a small jar as a lantern. When you wish to see in the dark, simply sprinkle in some loose stone. Be careful though, they can leave nasty bites. Another creature of note is the mossback. You might have seen these without realizing it. At first glance, they appear to be small stones covered in moss, until they scuttle away. There are small, hard creatures with pincers under all that greenery that collect moss to add to their shells. They seem particularly fond of mud moss, which, when wet and condensed, hardens into a strong shell. They can grow fairly large from what I've seen, up to the size of a small boulder. I sometimes wonder if they could keep growing forever. These mossbacks often have some tasty mushrooms growing on their backs too. One interesting bird that I've seen is the spearcrest. These are the small birds that are able to soar through the halls at high speeds. You can recognize their high-pitched call, which I believe helps them navigate. They have sharp eyes, and they can even grip to smooth stone. Their feathers contract at will into sharp blades, allowing them to shoot through small openings like an arrow. I have collected one of these and found that they make a good spear tip. They build their nests together, up in the high places, out of materials found around the ruins. Back down on the ground, I have seen a curious creature I call the burrow ball. They are small, round-looking rodents that sneak out looking for snails and insects to eat. At the first sign of danger, they burrow back into a crack in the wall. Since they are quite round, they are able to stretch themselves into a long tube to get into even the smallest opening. I often wish that I could see the cozy homes they might have within the walls. Beyond the creatures I've mentioned, there are some that are larger and more predatory. One of these is the stone scale, a lizard that blends into its surroundings. Their scales bear the look of the ruins, sometimes even down to the strange markings found on the walls. They can even relax their scales to form a perfectly smooth surface, making them very tricky to spot. Stone scales are also able to easily scale the sheer walls and ceilings of the ruins, finding a vantage point to ambush their prey. I learned from another wanderer that the venom in their teeth puts their prey to sleep. Perhaps this could be useful in the future? And the last of the creatures I shall mention in this entry is by far the most mysterious, the pale wing. Okay, I have to admit, I have only caught a fleeting glimpse of one of these, but I'm fairly certain that they exist. It stood larger than me, a long white bird with fluffy feathers. I have heard that their eyes are cold and all-knowing. They make their nests on top of high-up pillars, constructing ornate nests for their young. If a wanderer is courageous enough, they might even be able to steal away one of their eggs. I hope that I have managed to convey the wide variety of creatures I've seen in the ruins. I am reminded now of the teachings of a spirit I met who had a keen interest in the animals of this place. They told me that everything is deeply connected, and that when one dies, another might live. And so the cycle continues, even in a place as quiet as this. That's all for this episode on the fauna of the Eternal Ruins. This is something I've been asked about for some time now, so I hope that it answers some of your questions. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to follow the channel and leave a comment. You can also check out the Discord if you want to discuss the project with other wanderers. The Discord is amazing for fan-made content. Last month, some of the Discord members took part in the Inktober challenge. The whole thread is really amazing to look through and very inspiring for me personally. If you're interested in prints, you can get them on my website. I have larger fine art prints that are signed, some smaller postcard size prints, and a few stickers. Link for those is in the description. And if you want more Eternal Ruins content beyond the videos, you can also join the Eternal Ruins Patreon. I post step-by-step process notes on my illustrations like these, and also monthly lore pages that document different encounters in the ruins. Patrons also get a discount on the print store. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time.